Okay. I'm in my happy place by the pool and enjoying a cool afternoon. And I wanted to share something that I had read in Evelyn Levinson's book and explain my previous video about not shaming projectors. Okay, it's called reverse shame. And so she says, here's an odd but increasing phenomena. After you work on accepting yourself, living in alignment with your projector nature, a new kind of shame can show up. It's called reverse shame, and it's the shame of being a good projector. And if we are not careful, we can do this to each other. So knowing that you're supposed to wait for invitations, wait to be invited to speak, not be too pushy or bossy, discharge your energy every day, leverage your defined center strengths, decondition your open center vulnerabilities, face the challenges in your chart, develop an expertise in a system so that you can be recognized. It puts you in a tricky position. If you are violating one of these quote unquote shoulds, you may feel that you are not being a good projector. And if you participate in online projector groups or human design groups, other projectors might be doing the shaming for you. Okay. So here's the thing. The thing is that shame is so incredibly toxic for everybody. It is part of our not selves anyway. We should not be shaming anybody, and there is no shoulds. You should not be telling people what to do. What you need to do is you need to tell people, if you do this, then this will happen. Or what you need to encourage people to follow their authority. So I wanted to give a little bit of my backstory and some times when I had burnout and what I went through. So here's a tough fact, is that the aura type that is most likely to go homeless is a projector. Because projectors, they lack the throat center, so they lack the ability to speak up and advocate for themselves, especially when they're young. Because they're so misunderstood in the workplace, they can often end up burning themselves out and get sick, and then in America, they often end up homeless. As somebody who's had that happen, I can tell you it is humiliating to not have your body work well, to have an autoimmune disease, to be able to only work like 4 to 5 hours a day and come home and collapse and cry because you feel as if you are broken. And to see other friends of yours the same age work multiple jobs, let's say they had some bad things happen to them, they could recover in a year. But a projector, that might take 5 to 10 years to recover from burnout. So it's really important for you to be kind to yourself as a projector. Most likely you've experienced an extreme amount of trauma growing up. You've never been understood, you've never been seen, and you've also never been emotionally nourished. And the 27 gate is actually one of my life's purpose, which is nourishment. So it's not just food, it's emotional nourishment. It's love. It's giving unconditional love to the world. And as a projector who has the right angle cross of alignment, my goal is to get people back into a loving space, to get into a place where they love themselves again. And you don't do that by saying they should do something. What you do is you listen to them, you encourage them, you say, hey, I understand your feeling, I know it's frustrated. What does your authority say? Like, what makes your body feel good? What makes your emotions feel good in this moment to do? How can you redirect your attention to not focus on what you're struggling with, but focus on your joy? What gives you joy? That's what we should be focusing on. That's how we heal each other. Unfortunately, we as projectors can be highly critical because we carry a lot of internalized shame, and that criticalness is one of the reasons why we push people away from us. How ironic, isn't that? So, if you're a projector, think about removing any shoulds from your mind. Just encourage people to listen to their authority, listen to them, and you're there to energetically guide them and love them. A lot of times with guiding, you don't even need to say anything. You just need to witness them. And your energy can sometimes actively guide somebody into the right alignment by you just giving them a hug or telling them how brave you think they were for explaining themselves, or how much you admire them and their strength. And if they ask you what you think, you could be like, oh, maybe try these things. Give them a list. Don't say, just do this. Give people a list of options so they feel like they have freedom. It's important to remember that regardless of what human design is, it's not necessarily a spiritual system. So we have to use our hearts, we have to use our higher selves and our spiritual paths to inform us, to help us with the human design system. And I both, I practice yoga and meditation, and as well as do Germanic occult and heathen. And one of the things I do know is that all goodness comes from liberation. The Vedic, in Vedic tradition they call it moksha, and in Germanic tradition we call it wod. Anything that allows you to experience more, to feel more vibrant, to feel more alive. That vodanas, that fuels runes, that fuels the stuff of life, the joy of life. So we're not here to tell each other what to do. We're just here to share. It's like, hey, I know this principle. What do you think about this? And the key is it starts with the self, and you can tell like a lot of people online who are projectors in the forum, and I don't want to bash anybody, but you can tell a lot of them have been hurting, and they're also really young, and so it's coming out of their throat centers because they haven't cleared out their throat centers. A lot of that is shame and should and a little bit of bossiness. And I was there. I'm not like different from you all. But I do have a little bit of age on me. So I will be, well, I turned 53 this year. Yeah, I turned 53 this year. So I finally got to the place where I accepted my projectorness. And I've been sitting with this for like, I don't know, I think about 5 years. I've been sitting with human design and not liking it. Like, I didn't really like about the whole projector thing because it brought up a lot of my wounds. But once I just relaxed and I realized, like, I don't care what people think of me. What I do care about is living a good life, and I want to be happy in who I am. And if I can help people along the way, I would love that too. And so I just want to really like reiterate, shame is always a really bad practice. And to bring it back to magic, I'm working on a rune and scythe magical system, and I'm writing 2 books right now. It's going slow because I am a projector and I also have to work. So, yeah, I'm not like other authors because it takes time, and people can be as disappointed in me as they want, but the key is my health and my vitality is the most important. But if I can write an hour a day, I'm happy. And so I'm working on this program, and in this program, I explain about the different levels of consciousness, of whether you're in the underworld, the midworld, and the upper world. And shame is the language of the underworld. It is how the closed and bounded realities of the underworld exhibit. So if you want to get into higher consciousness, at some point, you got to let go of shame and you got to let go of should, because you got to start trusting people. If you love them, they'll eventually make the right decision. Just start trusting people.